I'm Adrian, the Cruise and Travel Guy. Two popular cruise YouTubers have just been banned from Carnival Group cruise lines for the next 5 years. As a fellow cruise creator, could this happen to me or you? I will explain why this matters for every cruise fan, creator or not. Remember, when it's time to plan your next cruise, head to my website first where you can search, compare and book. For those of you who don't know, Dan and Jay started their creator journey on YouTube with their channel Sail Away with Dan and Jay, before later launching Sail Away magazine in late 2023 and rebranding their channel to match. With a large and engaged cruise audience, the two are known for their in-depth cruise reviews as well as their uncensored podcast. Last week, things came to a head when the pair received a letter from a guest relations manager of P&O UK. The sender's name was redacted, but the letter states, "Following a review of your recent interactions with us, we believe that you have both clearly demonstrated that we cannot offer the holiday that you are looking for. It is thus no longer appropriate for you to travel with us on any of the Carnival Group brands. Please note that this letter represents our final decision on this matter, and you will therefore not be permitted to travel with us for a period of 5 years, after which we may review. Please note that no further correspondence on this matter will be entered into." In an article published on the Sail Away magazine website, Dan and Jay observed, "Now, to be clear, we're not claiming to know exactly what led to this decision. We'll leave others to draw their own conclusions, but it sends an alarming message to independent media, cruise content creators, travel influencers, and paying guests." They added, "This comes after a year in which we have asked difficult questions. We've challenged cruise lines on service cuts, poor communication, and customer complaints. We've questioned whether the cruise experience is still delivering the value it once did. And we've given passengers a voice when they felt ignored and abandoned by a cruise line." A look at the pair's YouTube channel offers a glimpse into their recent Carnival coverage, including a comprehensive review of Carnival Miracle, one of the cruise line's older ships. I have to acknowledge that publishing content for YouTube and getting people to watch are two very different things, and really the only two tools that creators have to play with are titles and thumbnails. Some of the world's biggest cruise YouTubers commonly use a dramatic or negative angle for that reason. I've certainly done it, but ultimately the review itself is what counts. So if Dan and Jay's Carnival Miracle review is the impetus for this ban, is it the way it was framed, or is it the content itself? I watched through their entire review and I was completely shocked to see the state of their cabin when they boarded. Unclean and unhygienic would be a nice way of putting it. I urge you to watch their review to see it in detail. But according to the pair's recent postings on Facebook, they first approached Carnival's PR team to report the problem, but they never received a reply. I found that to be a curious move because one of the broader issues with you encountering a problem on a cruise, or someone with an audience encountering a problem on the cruise, is that the fix might not be the same, and that's something that I completely disagree with. If we've both paid for the cruise, then we're both equal. According to the video, Dan and Jay later reported the issue to housekeeping and were in fact first offered either a move to an identical cabin grade and type or a deep clean, and the pair chose a deep clean. It appeared the clean was still unsatisfactory. They said, "Frankly, the best thing about this cabin is the moment you leave it." The issue was eventually escalated to the hotel director on board the ship, who, upon hearing that Dan and Jay were considering disembarking the cruise and ending it early, offered them a full refund and an upgrade to an ocean suite, as well as a full complement of apologies apparently, and this is something that Dan and Jay both commended heavily, saying that it was incredible customer care and service. The rest of the cruise review is very much an in-depth overview of every part of a cruise on board Carnival Miracle, as experienced by Dan and Jay. In my view, they provided positive feedback when it came to dining, even comparing it to premium cruise line Azamara, the speed of Wi-Fi and crew service, but also pointed out issues with entertainment, tipping culture, and the ship's decor, saying about the latter, "The sheer effort and thought that must have gone into making this the most hideous ship we've ever set foot on is remarkable." In summarizing their time on board, they said, "We spent more time frustrated than we ever should whilst on a holiday. The ship didn't feel fun, it didn't feel relaxing, it actually felt really quite budget. We came in with open minds, but we're leaving with a clear answer. This brand, this style, it just isn't for us, and that's okay. Not every cruise line has to be, does it?" So the question on my mind at least is, did this Carnival Miracle cruise review form part of the recent interactions with us that led to this 5-year cruising ban? And if it did, is there now some line that can't be crossed? To be clear, I disagree entirely with this ban, but I do acknowledge that it's not a black and white situation. Ironically, it's brought infinitely more attention to the problems the pair faced on board Carnival Miracle. I likely wouldn't have seen their review and certainly wouldn't have made this video talking about it had they not been banned from the cruise line. It seems very much like a PR fail. When we see cruise ban headlines, it's usually because people have gotten into physical altercations or they've tried to sneak something on board the ship, not for creating a mostly objective cruise review. It just seems unprofessional and very ill-conceived. Now the conversation, of course, turns to whether this move is an example of censorship or if it's a company exercising its right to protect its brands. Opinion online is split, although support for the two is overwhelming. From my point of view, Dan and Jay did absolutely the right thing in covering the issues they encountered with on their cruise. This is the obligation that they have and I have as an independent cruise creator and reviewer. Would I have gone about it in the same way? No. Frankly, I think they made one big mistake, and that was accepting a full refund and an upgrade to an ocean suite during their voyage. Why? Because I don't for 1 second think that a regular cruiser would have received the same treatment. From a company perspective, they really went over and above when it came to correcting what was admittedly a harrowing cabin that the two encountered when they boarded Carnival Miracle. Criticism forms part of any good review. I take pride in providing as factual and as objective a review as I can when preparing my own, because I want you to see what the experience was like, warts and all. I'm also aware that not every cruise line or cruise ship is for everyone, but that also works in reverse. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean that you won't. There needs to be some clarity when delivering objective fact with subjective opinion, and also trying to make that entertaining. I think it is a tricky line to tread. Ultimately, I think this ban sets a dangerous precedent for cruise creators. It's very much an unsettling situation, and I hope that Carnival or P&O UK reconsiders their decision. I also think this serves as a lesson for cruise creators in this space, that objective and factual reviews form the basis of what we do. They're going to serve different people with different tastes, different interests, and different budgets. But we need to be able to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly without fear of being shut out. What do you think? Was this fair? Was it way out of line? What do you want to see out of cruise reviews on YouTube? As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't done so yet, you can give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guy. And again, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.